Hey everybody, it's Trags, Mike Petralia back at the Auerbach Center, 2018 Celtics draft headquarters. He's Josue Pavone.
That's right.
And you are Chris Grenham. We are here to recap what just took place in the first round. Pick number 27, Celtics stayed where they were. They did not trade up. They didn't trade into the second round. With the 27th pick, they take Robert Williams, a big man out of Texas A&M, 6'10". But the bigger story might be his wingspan, guys, and his rebounding ability, his ability to play above the rim. 7'6" wingspan. I'll start with you, Josue. What impresses you most about Robert Williams joining the Celtics?
His athleticism, Trags. You know, you talk about his athleticism, what the Celtics team does defensively, how they're defensive-minded, and how someone like that gives them a lot of options. I like what Brad Stevens had to say about the fact that, you know, you surround him with shooters, and that guy is going to get easy twos. He's going to develop his offense eventually, but the defense is what stands out the most about Robert Williams, and I think that's going to be, vital throughout his progression. And I think that he's a guy who can contribute defensively right away, I think.
To Josue's point, Chris, we have heard so much over the last several years as Brad Stevens' program has really rocketed up towards the top of the Eastern Conference. The one thing they do need is a rim protector. We've heard those two words ad nauseum. Now they have one.
They do. Robert Williams is the rim protector in this draft. I think, obviously his discipline and some of his work ethic is what caused him to slide down the draft boards. This could end up being the steal of the first round, honestly. He was projected to go somewhere in the late teens, and he ended up sliding down to 27, which was great. They need a rim protector, and I think, some of that disciplinary issues on the defensive end, he can learn from Al Horford. What better person to learn from than Al Horford, in my opinion? So I think that's great. But in terms of athleticism, just like Josue pointed out, you're not going to get a better athletic big than Robert Williams.
Okay, who can help him with the work ethic here in Boston?
I think Al Horford is a great example. We saw what he did and what he meant to this team, especially in the postseason. For him to mold a young mind. I mean, he's taken that leadership role. Right. And I can't think of another big man, besides Daniel Tice, that has sort of, put together that sort of potential defensively. But I think Robert Williams has a really good shot of surpassing what we've seen out of Tice, at least up until this point. I'm very excited to see how this unfolds.
This is going to be, I think, a little bit different than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I had a chance to ask Brad Stevens, with the culture the Celtics have created here, they've had young players, 19-year-olds like a Jason Tatum or a 20-year-old like Jaylen Brown back when he was a rookie out of Cal, come in and contribute right away. I think this situation, Chris, is a little bit different.
It is. Obviously when you bring in Tatum and stuff, he's a potential star right off the bat, and he's a high lottery pick, but he's not as aggressive. He's not a big rim runner like Robert Williams, and I think it's just not really the conventional Brad Stevens Danny Ainge pick that we've seen over the last couple of years. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different. So it'll be interesting to see how they work him in. Again, his defensive prowess can really, really help them out with rim protection and playing above the rim, which a lot of bigs haven't done here in the last couple of years. So I think his style of play is different, and I think they'll adapt well. I trust Brad Stevens to work him in effectively.
Certainly he's earned that. Josue, I think the physicality is something we're looking forward to in Robert Williams.
Oh, absolutely. In the paint, that aggression. We've seen other guys, maybe undersized guys that have been in that, similar role. But this is a guy who has the athleticism, has the length, has the body that you want to see down low. And also he can move a bit, he can switch positions defensively. He's a bit flexible in that sense. So those are the type of guys I think that, you pretty much got to look at it as a steal right now. Yeah. At the end of the first round in this draft, a draft full with a bunch of big men who, were taken. Most of them were taken in the top 10. But this is a guy, that slid all the way down to the end of the first round. And again, it's a steal, no brainer for the Celtics.
At the end of Brad's answer to me, he dropped some 411. Letting everybody know that Robert Williams is expected in town in Boston this coming Sunday.
Cat's out the bag.
He will address the media the following Friday. That'd be June 29th here in Boston, probably here at the brand new Digs, the Auerbach Center. We'll have you covered, of course, as always, on CLNS Media. Follow us on Twitter at Celtics CLNS. He is Josue Pavone. You are Chris Grenham. I'm Mike Petralia. That's it for now.